Melissa thought over her life in careful reflection as she had grown up in an Amish home years and years back. She had changed and made decisions after Rumspringa that would forever change the direction of her life, nor did she realize that she would change so dramatically. But during her upbringing, she had made the decision to leave the Amish life for a life that would forever change the direction of her world in so many ways. The culture was not unexpectedly a world of crime and criminal behavior. Looking back, though, after years of recovery in a program, she is now clean and sober, doing very well for herself in as a social worker. She recalls her story over a cigarette, talking over with another associate, and they asked curiously how she decided to leave the Amish life. Melissa said it was not hard. The abuse was severe and she needed to go. And the second she had a chance to leave at 13 for Rumspringa, she did. She made that decision to go. And then at 16, she finally made the decision to finally go, and she was shunned. So Melissa said that the decision to leave at 16 was final, and they no longer accepted her in the Amish community, and she left. Everybody just stood and stared at Melissa's reaction. She doesn't look or even seem the least bit Amish, but her traditions, her core values still remained with her as a part of much of what she was about. She had 6 children. In total, she had 7 children, but one had passed away during a domestic violence incident years ago. Looking back, she had recovered from that horrible, cruel, and painful experience where she was literally almost dead from that experience and lost her baby. She couldn't imagine that she had ever lived this way, but after stunts at prison, being sprung from jail, the judge had mercy on her and said, the best thing I could ever do for you is throw you in state prison so you can get your life on track again. She did, in fact, do time at the state prison where she got her life on track and got back clean and sober, where she is now a social worker today. Her friends were amazed at her progress and how well she's doing today. Melissa, said Anna, how did you go from there to here and make the progress you made? She said it wasn't easy. I made a lot of poor decisions. I didn't know what the real world had waiting for me. Of course, I made the poor decisions that a lot of people make, but I didn't have the upbringing to prepare myself for what was waiting for me out in the outside world. So I did fall into the traps of the world. And I think the judge made the right decision, too. Wow, said Anna. You need to tell your story. I do. I think it's time for me to take a moment and just appreciate what I have, said Melissa. So tell me about Rumspringa. What happens when you go to Rumspringa? Well, it's the youth's chance to make a decision whether they want to go with the Amish culture or not. And they can decide whether they want to continue with the culture and decisions or go back and go independently on their own. Do a lot of people stay? Yes, a lot of people do stay and they do make a life with the Amish community. So you're shunned, said Anna. Yes, I am shunned. Yep. They even have a gravestone in my name. That means I'm officially shunned. Wow, said Anna, as Anna just stood and stared as Melissa took a last puff of her cigarette. As you can tell, I have made decisions that, good or bad, I know that God has forgiven me for what I have done. I made my own, well, I would say repentance in a lot of ways by accepting responsibility for what I did wrong, getting clean and sober, and living up to my responsibilities as a mother now. I think that as a social worker, I think that being a drug and alcohol counselor has made me a better person, and I can help more people this way. I think your story is phenomenal. I think you need to help more people. I think you can tell your story to anybody and they'll be fascinated. I agree, said Melissa to Anna. Listen, I don't want to sit at this bar too much longer. I have a lot of work ahead of me. There's so much I need to do. And believe me, I would love to stay a little bit longer, but I have a workload from the next couple of days ahead of me. Anna said, oh, I don't want to keep you. Besides, I don't want to sit in a bar either. Let's put out our cigarettes and let's go, said Melissa, as they put out their cigarettes and they cleaned up what was left of their ashtray and topped it off with another ashtray. They asked for their bill and they paid their bill and they left the bar. As they walked out the door, Anna said, thank you for sharing that for me because I was always curious about your story, and your story always fascinated me. You don't even look Amish. Well, I wear makeup, I wear regular clothes now, and you would never look at me and say that I was Amish at one point. But I did, in fact, wore the clothes. I wore everything. I was Amish. In fact, my parents are not in the Amish community either. So my story and their story is quite interesting. Wow. So your family left the Amish community too? Yes, my whole family left. Mm. Anna just shook her head in disbelief. Life after Amish is really the story. We all have changed. We've all made decisions as a family to not talk much more about it. It's not that we don't want to talk about it. It's just it's not it's not our life anymore. Our life is with our children, our families, and we have changed as a family. We have changed. They still have their strict restrictions and things like that, but they're not the same people once they left the Amish community. I understand, says Anna, as they walk to their cars. Okay, well, Melissa said, I have to get going, so it's nice talking to you, Anna. It was nice talking to you, too. Anna was really so grateful for the conversation and hugged Melissa as they departed. As Melissa got into the car, she sat and thought, I guess a lot of people misunderstand me still, but that's okay. I'm going to clarify it. I will eventually share my story more often. As Melissa headed home to her apartment, she got home and unlocked the keys to her apartment and got in. She breathed a sigh of relief and thought to herself, it is so nice to get home. Her boyfriend was waiting for her. Tom, said Melissa, are you there? Yes, I'm here, Melissa. It's good to see you, said Melissa. I'm sorry I was late. I was with Anna. She wanted to know about my Amish upbringing. Oh, Tom said, I'm sure that was an interesting conversation. I'm sure of it. Yeah, it was. Tom has been in a relationship with Melissa for a year and a half. So Tom's used to hearing this quite often. You couldn't get me bored of that story at all, said Tom as he hugged Melissa. I'm so happy that you shared that story. Your story is fascinating, said Tom. It is fascinating. I'm just curious. Would you ever get into the Amish gear again? Not if you paid me, said Melissa. I like my leather coat and my wild clothes, and I love my jewelry, and I love my makeup, and I love my hair just the way it is, said Melissa to Tom. Okay, I appreciate that. It's not going to change. Besides, I smoke cigarettes too, so there's another problem. Plus, I vape. Oh, I see. So your life is pretty much set. Yeah. So, how was work today? Said Tom to Melissa. It was good. It was really good. I had a great day. It's quite a story that everybody catches on that you are Amish and they just want to know everything about you. Like, do you make jam? Said Melissa, these are the kind of questions get asked. Do I know how to make bread? And Tom just laughed. It's quite an interesting story I have to share. You know, 13 years old when Rumspringa started, I didn't know all the things that I needed to learn about being Amish. But the thing is that as I have learned so much about being in this culture, is that I really wish I would have learned more about cooking and all the skills that I could have been so good at, like quilting and all those things that are Amish are known for. Yeah, Tom said, if you would have caught on to all that, you would have been a millionaire. No, I don't think so, said Melissa. Hmm. Well, at any rate, when do you think you'll write your book? I don't know. I think it's probably possible I should write a book about it. But for now, just living my life is probably a testimony in itself, said Melissa. Probably share the story about all the aspects of what I lived through since Rumspringa. Oh, wow. I'm sure that has a documented story in itself. Well, since Rumspringa, it's been a lot of things like the whole experience of doing drugs and alcohol and then going to jail and then losing a baby to domestic violence and being almost in a near fatal um, domestic violence that caused the baby to die. Um, I could write details into my story that would make anybody just, I mean, just, I don't even have words for it. So I don't even know what I would write about. Well, Tom said, stop right there. Listen, you don't have to recall all this right now. Let's finish up cooking dinner and we can talk about this another time. That sounds great because I'm very hungry, said Melissa. What did you cook for dinner? Nothing really special, just lasagna. Oh, nothing special, lasagna. Oh, I love lasagna, said Melissa. Tom said to Melissa, listen, it isn't that special. It's Stouffer's. Oh, whoa. I like Stouffer's. Okay, good. I couldn't make it myself. I really wish I could take credit for it. That's understandable. As Melissa and Tom had dinner and had lasagna, they enjoyed the delicious lasagna together in a quiet apartment that they shared together. It was so good, said Melissa. Tom, I really appreciate you getting this together for me because I had such a long day. Do you feel up to doing something tonight or do you want to just stay in? I have to stay in. I have work ahead tomorrow. Okay, that sounds good because maybe I can catch up on my work as well. Okay, sounds good, said Melissa. Listen, I need to clean up anyway. So I'm going to take a shower and get ready early and do some work for tomorrow. Okay, so Tom and Melissa parted for momentarily. As Melissa recalled the day and just basically had to unwind from the whole day of events, she basically took a shower and cleaned up for the day and got back to work. Ah, it feels so good. I'm glad to have done something just when she got a call from her mother. Melissa, yes, Mom. I just want to say, honey, I'm sorry for all the trouble that you've been through. I really, really don't understand how your father feels about everything, but listen, I know that your father is very strict still, even after all these years. But I personally wanted to tell you that I was thinking of you. Thank you, Mother. I appreciate this. I just wanted to say good night. You know, it's been a long time since I've tucked you into bed, and I know it's that you're much older and you've been through a lot, but I was thinking of you and I just wanted to say good night. That was wonderful of you, Mother, said Melissa to her mother. Good night, Mom. Good night, honey. As Melissa hung up with her mother, Tom was listening and overhearing the conversation. So that was your mother? Yes. Your dad is still very strict, huh? Said Tom. Yes, very strict. Well, that's good. What do you mean good? I mean, he's strict because he loves you. No, I think it's still from the Amish upbringing that I have. I'll have to explain to you another time. Okay. Listen, I'm going to turn in early, said Tom, because I do have to be up early for work. Okay, well, I'm going to meet you in the room, in the bedroom as well. So I need to go into work early as well. So as Tom and Melissa decided to go to bed early, they turned in early for work, but they couldn't sleep. Tom looked at Melissa. He said, "We are in bed a little early, don't you think?" Yes. "You think we have time to kiss?" said Tom. "Of course we do." And Tom kissed Melissa. "Melissa, you're so beautiful. I just can't sometimes understand how you survived so much and lived through so much, and you're still so beautiful and so attractive. I appreciate that so much, honey. And listen, I don't want you to feel awkward around my parents." "Oh, I don't feel awkward around your parents," Tom said. "But I think your parents do look down at the fact that we live together." "Yes, I do understand that. That's why I have something important to say to you. Listen, I've been wanting to ask you for a long time, but it's been on my mind. I would like to ask you to marry me," Tom said. "Right here, right now?" "Well, not here now. I'm just saying, here it is. Here's the ring. See if it fits." And Tom glides it onto her finger. "It fits," says Melissa. "Well, what am I going to sit here and say to you, Tom? Of course I would say yes to you. I mean, we live together and I love you. So, yes." "You're going to say yes?" "Yes, absolutely. My parents would approve of this." "I hope so," said Tom. "So you're gonna do it. We're gonna take the leap." "Yeah, we have already gone this far. I think my parents would approve." Good. Tom and Melissa kissed and held each other the rest of the evening. As Melissa glared at the ring, she just was astounded at this beautiful diamond ring on her left finger. Tom was so excited. Tom said, "I'm so happy that you said yes because I was so nervous about doing this." "We are going to make this leap together," said Melissa. "I agree. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate this so much," said Melissa. Tom kissed her.